You're on a rescue mission to save as many cats as possible before the evil Vesh Darkhand arrives at the Isle of Cats. Thanks for joining me at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Melissa Delp. The Isle of Cats is a 1 to 4 player tile-laying card drafting game that plays in about 60 to 90 minutes. It's designed by Frank West and published by City of Games, and they sent us this copy to review. Let's take a quick look at the components. There are unique boat boards for each player, an island board, lots of polyomino tiles for the cats and treasures, lots of cards, tokens, a bag, and score pad. The Late Arrivals expansion box increases player count to 6 players. The Kickstarter pack expansion includes wooden fish, some extra pieces, and 3 new lesson modules for added variety in scoring. In Isle of Cats, you're trying to rescue cats, find rare treasures, and fill your shipboard according to the lessons that you've played. Each game is played over 5 days, and there are 5 phases in each day. I'm going to run through those really quickly. In the first phase, players go fishing and each receive 20 fish. Then in the Explore phase, you'll draft 7 cards. After the draft, you have to pay fish for the cards you want to keep. The cost is in the top left of the card. The next phase is Read Lessons. You have to play any of the lesson cards you kept. Public lessons, the ones that affect everyone, are played face up, and private lessons are played face down. Lessons are basically ways to earn endgame points. Phase 4 is Rescuing the Cats. You'll choose which green cards you want to play and place them face down in front of you. Then all players reveal, and turn order is determined by who has the most boots. In turn order, you can rescue 1 cat at a time. You need to spend 1 basket or 2 broken ones, and the amount of fish required. It's 3 fish for this field and 5 fish in this field. When you place a cat on your board, it has to touch another tile you've already placed. After all players pass, or there are no cats left to rescue, players move on to the Rare Finds phase. You'll be playing your yellow and brown cards, which are Rare Treasures and Oshax cards. When you place an Oshax, you immediately choose what color family it belongs to. Now you just have some end of the round things to take care of. You get to keep any fish or cards left over for the next round. You'll remove the cats if there are any left in the fields, and then you'll move Vesh's ship 1 day closer. When it reaches the hand symbol, which will be after the 5th day, you proceed to endgame scoring. According to the normal rules, visible rats are -1 point each, and each room that isn't filled is -5 points. You'll receive points for all your cat families. If you have at least 3 cats of the same color touching each other, you get 8 points. 4 gives you 11, 5 gives you 15, and so on. There's a chart on your board. You get 3 points for every rare treasure, points from your private lesson cards, and points from public lesson cards. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Now there are lots and lots of tile-laying games. They're pretty popular right now. And if you've seen any of my top 10 lists, you've probably noticed that I do like tile-laying games. This one actually was number 3 on my top 10 games, Kickstarter games that Kevin and I reviewed for 2019. So I do really like this game. One of the main things that I think stands out in this game is the number of decisions you get to make and the quality of those decisions. I mean, it starts with the drafting phase. Which cards do I keep? Do I keep the ones that I think are going to be most beneficial for me? Oh, I see a card that I think is really going to help Kevin. Do I pass it to him, or do I keep it so he doesn't get it? And of course, there's the whole aspect of which cards do you pay for and keep after you draft. Because you have to manage your fish resources, because you need those to pay for the cats that you're going to rescue and for the cards. So there's a little bit of math going on there. You don't want to overspend in the card phase and not have enough for when you need to rescue your cats. And then comes the phase where you're actually choosing which green cards to play, and you're kind of looking at the other players and thinking, how many boots are they going to play? What cards did I pass to them? What do I think they kept? Because there could be instances where turn order is super important. Maybe there's this one cat you really need and you want to make sure that you get it. So there's a lot of decisions that you're making when you're deciding which of those green cards to play. And also, am I gonna have enough fish to rescue the number of cats that I'm putting baskets out for? And then of course there's also the lesson cards, deciding, am I going to go after those other scoring opportunities? Which ones are the best for me? Or am I going to focus mainly on just large cat families? Or am I going to do a little bit of both? So there's a lot of decisions to make in the different phases and even your strategies. You also have decisions of where to place your cats. Are you going to place them to cover rats, to fill rooms, to cover matching treasure maps to get a common treasure, or to make families and fulfill lesson cards? Making large cat families is usually a strong strategy. I don't think you're going to do well in the game if you completely ignore the cat families. But I do really enjoy the challenge of combining cat families with some of those lesson cards and figuring out how to score a lot of points. There is a ton of variability with those lesson cards. And if you have the Kickstarter pack, there are 3 more modules of lesson cards that you can add into the game. You can swap them in and out to change up the feel of those lessons. But there is one module in that pack that is pretty nasty. All of the cards in it give negative points for certain things. So for my game group, I don't think we're going to be adding in that module. The game also has solo rules and simplified rules for family games. I have not played either of those options. To boil it down, here are some of the things that I love about the Isle of Cats. I've already mentioned in detail the decision making. Beyond that, I like that there is some player interaction. It comes in the draft and the turn order and even which cats or treasures that you choose. But it's fairly minimal. No one can mess with my stuff in my ship. So I like that there is some player interaction, but it's not a ton of player interaction. I just love tile laying games and working with the polyominoes. I just find that a lot of fun. And I also really enjoy games with variable scoring, and this has a lot of it with the lesson cards. Now I do want to mention a few things that I personally don't have problems with, that they don't bother me, but could be an issue for some gamers. So I want to mention them in case this would be a turnoff for you. The game does have an honor system with how you pay for your cards. No one else can see the cards that you keep, so if you say, I need to pay 7 fish, no one can really verify that. So there could be instances where someone accidentally miscalculates and pays too much or too little, or there could unfortunately be instances of cheating. Now, in our game groups, we don't really have that issue, so the honor system doesn't bother me. Another aspect of the game is that the cats are randomly drawn out of the bag and randomly placed in the fields. So there can be situations where the particular color of cat or shape that you need just isn't coming up, and maybe something that another player is going for, a ton of those things come out, so it feels like it's playing into one player's strategy more than another. But the good thing is that the cats come out before you draft cards, so you can adjust your strategy if you need to based on the cats that are there. Like I said, I don't consider those things huge issues. I love the game. Overall, this game is great. I would highly recommend it. It has a little bit more going on than some tile laying games, so I put it in the medium complexity category because of all those decisions that you're making. But I would definitely recommend the Isle of Cats from City of Games. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. You're on a rescue mission to save. Yes, I'm like, you're on a rescue mission to rescue. Redundant. You're on a rescue mission. Can say this. I've already mentioned the interesting decisions. And then I also like other things. Erection, tiling, variables.